This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And we are on December the 28th, 2021, almost to that year's end. And we still got a few anniversaries we can celebrate. And I remember in 1996, 25 years ago, when I started film criticism. One of the films I saw that year was Scream, a film that kind of redefined the horror genre, which has been dead since I'd say probably the late 80s. um, Especially the slasher films. They say the slasher craze went from 78 to 84, which
Yeah.
sounds about right. Well, we're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Scream today, and I have the girl from the washroom, Nancy Ann Ritter. How do you do, Nancy?
I'm so good. I'm now out of the washroom. I've made it into a dining room. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm very happy to be with you.
Yes, I love your little Christmas tree there. You
Oh,
got set up beside you. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. We actually change it with each season. So we'll do a Valentine's tree. So it's a seasonal tree. So
Oh,
we
do
have
you
Valentine's.
really?
Oh, yeah. We go from
You know what?
Valentine's. Yeah.
You need to tell my sister-in-law that, because a couple of years ago, my brother and my sister-in-law had their tree up till June.
Well, yeah, and what I love about this is I don't know if you can tell, it's like wrought iron.
Yeah.
So they had theirs till June. Yeah, we go with each season. So right now it's all the Christmas ornaments, and then we'll switch it with each season. But if they get a wrought iron tree, then they can leave it. I mean, they can leave their tree up all the time anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
Well,
it looks.
I gave them a hard time.
Did they have a live tree or an artificial tree?
Artificial.
And they kept it up. Now, did they keep it up till June because they just love the having it
No, I
be
just don't think they got around to taking it down. And I think they took it down in June because they got tired of me making fun of them for it.
That's so fun. And do they live in Canada by you?
Oh yeah, they live very
Okay.
close by me. Yeah.
Okay, that is so funny. Yeah, well, you can give them this idea. But yeah, no. I love having it up all year just because of the twinkle lights, and it's so festive and merry. Yeah. I'm living with my 84-year-old dad and my 81-year-old mother. So that's why, well, the house looks like it is, but yeah.
You know what? There's no shame in that, because I lived in my family house for 47 and a half years. And in fact, I joke with people, because I was the last one to leave the house. I joke with people saying my parents had to leave because I wouldn't. But the truth of the matter is, my parents both are terminally ill. My younger brother takes care of them, and they moved into my grandparents' old house because there's less stairs.
Yeah.
And so I remained in the old home front. I would say probably a better part of a year, maybe longer, until my younger brother got it fixed up and ready to sell.
Yeah.
And so I was the last. Actually, technically, my cat was the last one to leave, because once I got into this apartment here, I was here a few days, and I had to go back to the old house there to get the cat. Yep.
How old is your cat? Oh, can I see? Is it a girl or boy?
Hi, kitty. You're being asked about.
Yes, oh my. It's like someone is she girl or boy?
Boy, it's Skittles.
It's Skittles. It looks like someone dropped black paint on his face. I love it. I love his black. Oh my word. his coloring. I love cats in general.
I do too.
And Skittles is, I've never seen one with that kind of spotting and coloring. It looks like it's a little carnival masquerade mask.
Skittle says, "You're using me for hits. This is embarrassing. You're using
No,
me for hits."
so does he have a little black on his nose? Or no?
He has a little pink nose
A little pink nose.
with a
Oh
little
my
bit of
God.
black on it. Yeah, a little bit of black.
Oh, he is to die for.
Yes,
Does he like to snuggle with you?
I like to snuggle with him. He doesn't bite or scratch. He's a big wuss. But
Is, is he a lap cat? Will he come sit on your lap?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I grew up with cats. I particularly love boy cats. I'm partial to boy cats.
Hey,
Um,
kitty.
and I had two. When I lived in LA, I didn't have a cat, but in New York, I had two rescue cats that were
This
boys.
is a rescue kitty.
Oh, did
Because
you? Yeah, no, go ahead.
I knew somebody that I'm gonna let him down because he's like, "You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me." Well, he could come over though. He's gonna rub against my finger though. He
Well,
forgets.
I love him to be part of this, so I'm thrilled.
Actually, I just heard from an actress today who posted the interview I did with her, and she made note that keep watch for the really cute cat.
Oh, that's so cute.
Everybody loves Skittles.
Oh, Skittle, I love the name
He
and
was
just
already named when I got. You see, he came from the person that had him had several animals, and they weren't particularly the best looked after.
yeah.
So my parents had Skittles, and they got an Australian Shepherd.
I love Australian
Yep,
Shepherd.
an Australian Shepherd unfortunately passed in 2020, but they had him for several years. He was a good dog. I got Skittles with me because when my parents moved into my grandparents' house, my dad said that he's gonna leave Skittles with me so I would have company. But
Right.
I think a lot of it is I'm more a cat person than a dog person, and my parents
Yeah.
are dog people.
Yeah.
So I've always been a cat person.
Yeah.
Um,
Me too.
but anyway, and my brother and his wife, they from the same place, they got a couple of ferrets.
Oh, ferrets.
Yep.
I've only seen there's a movie with Jennifer Aniston and Ben Stiller where she has a pet ferret. I'm blanking
I
on the
think it's
name.
all about Along Came Polly, I think it
Yeah, along
was.
came Polly, and her
Yeah.
little ferret is so cute. So what are it's your sister and her husband, they got two ferrets?
No, my brother and his
Yes.
wife.
Okay. And what are their personalities like?
Well, the ferrets are also gone now, but they I'll tell you one thing about them. Anytime that they needed to find something, they just looked under the bed. I watched them drag my sister-in-law's hair dryer down the hall into the bedroom and in under the bed.
And under the
I got them a toy, and I hadn't seen it since I gave it to them.
so do they like drag? I mean, the fact that the little one dragged her hair dryer, that's pretty funny.
Yep, they'll take anything under the bed, and if they're not doing that, they're trying to crawl up your pant leg.
Oh, I love that. I love that. On the
But
outside, not the
no,
inside.
inside.
Oh, it's
I'd be sitting
that's
at
really funny.
I'd be sitting in their computer room with my brother, and I'd feel something against the hairs of my leg, and it's like something feels off. I look down there, I see a little legs and tail sticking out of my pant leg, and
Oh,
I'm like, yeah,
would
you know
they?
what?
Oh
No,
no, I
but
was going to say, would they crawl all the way up the leg if they could?
you know what? My brother has told me, well, he was sleep him one time. They tried to do that to him, but he usually can feel it before they get too far up.
Okay.
They are very adventurous, very mischievous, and very uh explorations.
Yeah, no, I
Very
love that.
curious. Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
snuggle when they drag the hair dryer and the other items under the
They've
bed?
they've snuggled with them before. I do know that.
And do they snuggle with the objects? I mean, if
I
their
don't
owner,
know. They
or
snuggle
they
with
just
each
like,
other. They snuggle with each
oh,
other and they snuggle with the owners. So,
oh,
you know,
yeah. I love all animals, all animals. I just love.
my favorite animal though is the snake, but I don't
Oh,
own one
now why the snake?
because snakes are misunderstood animals.
Well, make me understand.
Well, my DJ name is Python Hyena,
Oh,
and
yes, that's right.
those are two animals that are so misunderstood but so fascinating. Snakes, they say, kill and eat more pests and rodents than any other creature, including birds of prey and cats.
Ooh. So
Yeah.
they should they put snakes all around Manhattan to
You know what? They probably clean up the rat problem because
yeah,
they dine on rats, I'll tell you that.
yeah, that would be release them into the subways, onto the tracks. Yeah, all over New York City would be amazing if
Mhm.
they released snakes. And then
Yep.
I do like hyenas.
The spotted
Um,
hyena is also interesting. Again, another animal that's misunderstood. They got apparently the strongest jaw pressure of any mammal, and because they can they eat the bone as well because they like the marrow. Yeah,
no.
but they say a spotted hyena can would be right at home in a sewer because they clean up what is left behind.
So they would be good in New York City too.
Yeah, a lot of people, they see them as scavengers,
Yeah.
but there's never any waste. They but they do take down live prey. I knew a couple who went to Africa on a safari, and they part of the tour they came across a lion kill. Lions have got a zebra,
Yeah.
and that they said that night they said that that won't be there because the hyenas will get it. And sure enough, there was no zebra there that night. The hyenas, because the lion doesn't eat at all, the hyenas will come and they will clean that up. I
Wow.
find, yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. That's yeah, very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to learn. Yeah, learning that about snakes. I love to learn about the personalities and the life of each animal. So I'm glad to have a better appreciation
Hmm.
of snakes.
Yep. Oh, I love snakes. I don't own one. My nephew owns a ball python and not a boa constrictor, some type of boa, but ball pythons are supposed to be pretty decent pets, you know. But snakes are unpredictable. Whereas you can't really, from my vantage view, you can't really snuggle with a snake. Whereas I can snuggle with Skittles there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, since you love snakes, would you eventually get one for yourself?
You know what? I'm 49 years old, so if I haven't owned one now, I probably won't, you know?
49 is still very young.
Yeah. Well, I
It,
don't know. I've always had cats, so I'll probably stick with that.
yeah.
Um, one of the great things about dogs and cats, and you can even say the same with birds if you own, types of birds, is they're a great company.
Yes. Wait, snakes or the birdies? Yes.
Birds, cats, and dogs, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Unbelievable.
like the
Um,
Australian Shepherd, I mean, he was part of the family whenever my parents had him, and this like Skittles here, like he's always waiting for me when I get home from work, he's yeah. So
yeah, yeah, I miss my two kitties I had in New York. I'm just uh bereft without them since I've been down here with my parents in Alexandria, Virginia. Um, so yeah, not having the two little boy kitties with me has been uh really hard. Yeah.
they pass away.
No, I knew it's like, oh no, don't ask. Uh my mom is so when I knew that I was coming down here for a time, my mom, our house is so tiny. My mom's allergic. And so I found, but still breaks my heart. I found a woman who, most people want kittens, and my two guys were 4.5, so fully grown. And this woman was particularly a neighbor was looking for, she wanted two cats, and um, her last cat had made it to 19, and she was ready to take two adult cats. So if I could do it all over again, I would have not done that. So I did give them to someone who I knew would take very good care of them, but I would say it's not the worst decision I've made, but not a decision I wish I would have made. But
At least there's some places that are being taken care of. There's nothing worse than somebody ending up with animals that don't take care of them.
right, right. No, I
Yeah,
made
I've
sure.
seen examples of that, so
Yeah.
yeah. But what do you think? Scream is 25 years old.
I can't believe that because that means I'm 25 years older and I can't, 1996 seems so long ago. I was 22, actually, yeah, 22 or 23. Wait, let's think. Oh God, I can't remember. 23, I think, by the time it came. I was 22 when I first got involved. By the time we shot, I was 23. So it seems like a whole other lifetime because I just had gotten to Los Angeles when I was 22, and then Scream came about when I was 23, and I was in LA for 5 years, and then I moved to New York for 12 years. Um, but yeah, I can't believe it. It stood the test of time. It's a real honor to have been a small part of it, and I'm so glad I the way I was able to meet you and all of these other amazing people, horror film connoisseurs and fans of Scream, was a booking manager for horror film conventions reached out to me in July. Just randomly, his name's Billy Stamper. He runs overthemoonappearances.com. And so he texted me and asked me would I be interested in doing the conventions. And I thought people are interested in the girl in the bathroom.
You know what? You'd be surprised.
That's what
You'd be surprised. You know what? The Shining twins apparently had said the same things. Who would want our autograph? This is the Shining twins said that.
no, and they're so iconic. Like I'm surprised they would think that they would wonder why.
Well, you know what? It's amazing because I started doing the cons in 2017, and started doing them because an actress in Canada, Lisa Langlois, who's in the movie Class of 1984 and Phobia and Happy Birthday to Me, stuff like that. She invited me to assist her at Horrorama in Toronto, and I could not say no to that.
No.
And she and I have kept in touch ever since. I sent her a Christmas gift, and She's right now in Los Angeles visiting her son, but she said my gift is still at the apartment in Toronto. I said, look, there's no hurry on that. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Enjoy your time with your family.
What was did you go for a whole weekend to the convention or
I
one
went
day?
for a week. I went for a week.
You had to go for a week.
Yeah, I went for a week. Now the convention was just a weekend, and I got shacked up there, and one of the things that I did when Lisa went to get her photos and stuff like that, I went to help her carry her stuff, but the same token, it allowed me to see the city because I've
Yeah.
never been outside New Brunswick
Okay.
in my 49 year, well, at the time, 42 years.
Yeah.
Well, 42 when I started doing the podcast, so it would have been later than that, but still, I had not done that. So I'm the only one in my family who's been on a plane. So, and that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, I thought it would, but didn't. And
Yeah.
I've gone every year except for 2020 because of obvious reasons, but I got to go there this year, and I had fun. I met up with Lisa, and we went to a really cool street Halloween party.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Lisa and I have remained very good friends since then, and I got the bug on conventions from that because it's like I love going to them. They're pretty
Yeah.
fun.
I had always heard, of course, about Comic-Con, and I've had uh, a lot of writer friends that worked on the new Star Trek for CBS All Access. Like I've had friends go to Comic-Con, to be on panels. I didn't know that the horror film community had its own uh, horror conventions. So that's been just really exciting. And I know that the booking manager would like to get, so Leonora Shelfo, as you know, probably know, played the cheerleader. So it would be in the bathroom scene. So it'd be fun. It'd be really fun if both bathroom girls could do conventions together. Like tomorrow night, we do our first interview for a podcast called Still Toking, Toking.
Uh-huh.
And so we haven't gone to a convention yet, but I'm so excited whenever we do get invited to go. I really look forward to it, but I can imagine just even going as just to watch and be a part of it as not a customer, but as a fan would be really fun too.
Can I ask you something? If you're still in touch with her, if she is available before the end of the year?
Okay, before.
Yeah, I would love to get her on here. Yeah.
Well, it'll that's a long story I can tell you off camera, but I'll actually well, when I see her for the interview tomorrow, it'll be it'll be the first time in a long time. So I'll see, depending on how it pans out tomorrow, I'll see,
That's okay. I see you're trying to hard getting something out, and I don't want to.
Well, no, I did something that really hurt her feelings that I felt really badly for, and I thought we were good with each other, and I recently found out she's not good with me, so that's why the interview tomorrow, the co-interview tomorrow, is going to be really interesting. So there's some tension with the cheerleader to the girl in bathroom, but hopefully we can mend it, because I would love to mention I had some other just audio interviewers that would like to interview her, and I texted her about that, and and she wasn't pleased to hear from me. So, but if I get the opportunity, I will definitely tell her about you for sure. Yeah, it's
I'm
my
sorry.
fault.
Well, you know what? We all do stuff in our past. We regret. I don't know when this happened. If it happened when Scream was filmed, then you know,
It happened in 2000. It happened in 2009. I had
uh,
just gotten out of, I was in a 6-year marriage to uh, a guy who became physically abusive right after we were married. And I very unwisely and stupidly stayed with him for 6 years. So, and he and I met working on a little independent film called Charlie's Party.
okay.
We actually did have a really good cast. But anyways, Leonora was in town like a month after I'd gotten my ex-husband to leave. And so I was going through a very difficult time, which doesn't justify um, the hurt I caused her. But I wasn't doing, after I got my husband to leave the apartment, we were living in the West Village in New York City. I just really basically collapsed. It was, of course, wonderful to get
Yeah.
him gone, but just adjusting to that transition because he had masterfully made me so psychologically codependent on him. So, um, so we intersected at a really difficult time.
The timing was bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? At least he's gone.
Yes, that's
You know what? We could be thankful for that.
yeah,
We don't need that abusive trash around at all, you
yeah.
know. But
She, oh, I was just going to say, Leonora and I did stay. We became really good friends when we shot. The first time I met her was when we had the night before we shot the scene. We each had our own hotel room up in Santa Rosa, California,
mhm.
and we rehearsed the bathroom scene in her little hotel bathroom. And then we just stayed. She was so generous, so just warm and kind, and really welcoming to me because she'd already been living in LA a bit longer than I had. And so we stayed good friends for a few years after that, and then we reconnected in New York City. But yeah, but I was really grateful. She was really good to me. Yeah, from the moment we met. So
Well, you know what? Maybe hopefully things will heal, you know.
yeah,
I hope so. Where is the best place to get hold of her? Facebook, Instagram, or
I would try. Um, I would give you her cell phone number, but then she'll be mad at me.
you don't
If you go, well, yeah, I'd have to get her permission. If you just contact her via Facebook, but don't mention you've done an interview with me, because then because she's in the text back to me, she said, stop texting me. And she was like, I don't care about any of this horror film stuff.
oh
So if she knows, but she is doing the interview tomorrow, if she knows that I would just approach her like you approached me.
yeah.
Um, and I would imagine she would be tickled to hear from you, but I wouldn't. She'll think, if you mention my name, she'll think that I suggested you call her.
Actually, it's kind of my idea, you know,
And it
to
was,
yeah.
no, it was your idea, but she'll think another friend, wait, this isn't going to go in your interview, is it?
Well, it
Whatever.
is recording. I don't know
Okay,
how to
it is recording.
I don't know
No,
how to edit these.
no, that's okay. That's okay. No, there's a guy who wants to do a fan film of the two of us with Leonora as the lead. And I thought she would be down. That was when she wrote back to me and said she didn't, to stop texting her about these people that were interested in her because she just didn't want to hear from me. So the guy who wants to write the fan film mentioned me when he reached out to her via Facebook. So, and then he kept calling me to see if I had heard back from her. And of course I hadn't. So I would just enter just the very same way you did with me. You could even write exactly what you wrote to me. And I was very charmed and interested in talking to you. So
Okay.
that would be the best way, since since she's understandably upset with me.
I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, I'd love to have her on here, especially, we get this last few days there before the end of the year. I'll reach out. I'll see what I can make work
Yeah.
out.
Well,
But
and I just want to say she's so amazing. Well, she's an amazing person, and I think she's the linchpin of the bathroom scene. I just think she does such a great job as the cheerleader, and just what she decided to do with the character. Anytime I see the scene, I just think she's amazing. So in that scene, so as the cheerleader, so I want to say that. Yeah.
talk about Nev Campbell.
So Nev Campbell, what they shot her reaction shots to the bathroom scene separate from us, on a whole different
Isn't that
day.
sad? You didn't get to go up there and knock on the
And
stall door.
knock on the stall door and say, "We know you're listening." So yes, so all of that. I come from the theater, so you're with everyone who's in a play. You're with everyone. You see everyone who's a part of that play. But yeah, with film, it's of course it was Leonora and I on set together, and I saw Nev Campbell. The first time I saw her in person was at the wrap party, which the wrap party was super fun. Really kind of a magical time. But the only other actor who was there the day we were filming was Henry Winkler, had just filmed his getting stabbed scene. So I first saw him with the bloody principal shirt he was wearing, and he had lunch with us before he was leaving. So, and he was super nice.
The Fonz.
The Fonz. I have other fun stories about some of the cast members, but I can't tell them out loud on here. But so I know that's a baiting thing that I shouldn't be doing. But there is some fun stuff about some of the cast members. Everyone was super nice. But yeah, my closest relationship is with Leonora from the film. But some of the other cast members are super nice. I remember at the wrap party, David Arquette, they'd had a jazz band, if I remember correctly, playing. And then when the jazz band cleared off this little stage, David Arquette started emceeing, like just playing host. And Nev Campbell got up there and was dancing. And Courtney Cox is a really good drummer. And
oh, is she really?
Yeah, really good. And
I didn't know that.
I was so amazed, and we'd been having like hors d'oeuvres together. And so then when she was done drumming, I was like, "You're so good at the drums." And she was like, "I really wasn't on my game." I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, "I really wasn't on my game tonight." But also I'll just tell you one thing with the wrap party that I thought was so fun was the editors, because they had Drew Barrymore, Courtney Cox, and Henry Winkler. And in the film, they did a great tribute reel to the three of them from when they first got their starts, like with Courtney Cox and the Bruce Springsteen video, of course, Drew Barrymore and E.T., Henry Winkler with Fonzie. And so that was a really neat tribute reel that they did, but that was really special to see.
Yeah. You know what? This is one of the funny things is that when Scary Movie came out 4 years later that parodied Scream, I was sitting in the theater and I think I'm the only one that got this joke that David L. Lander, who played Squiggy in Laverne and Shirley, I had him on my show before he passed away, and he played the principal in Scary Movie. And I laughed out loud, and I was the only one that in the theater that got the joke that in Scream, Fonzie was principal. In Scary Movie, it's Squiggy. And I laughed my ass off when I saw that, because I'm like, of course, and I was the only one in the theater that got that joke.
Well, that is, I haven't seen Scary Movie, so I didn't know that. And that I would have been laughing with you. That is genius
Yeah,
to have.
I love
Yeah.
Scary Movie, and yeah, they Principal Squigman.
Squigman was his last name.
Yeah,
To-
Principal Squigman. And I was like, yes, of course. Of course Squiggy's the principal because the Fonz was principal and
Right.
Scream. I thought that was so hilarious. I thought that was a genius casting.
Yeah, genius.
Yep.
You probably, I'm sure you already know this because you guys know more than I do about Scream, but you on the when I first got the script, the original title was A Scary Movie,
Hmm.
and then it was changed to Scream. And I could be wrong on this, but I could be totally wrong. From what I understood, the Wayans brothers bought the title from Kevin Williamson. I totally could be wrong on that in order to use A Scary Movie for their film. But again, I could be I could be very misinformed.
Yeah, very, very funny. But yeah, and of course, Wes Craven, the director of Scream. Now, there's a guy in the year I was born had done Last House on the Left. And then he did 5 years later, The Hills Have Eyes, and then he really skyrocketed with The Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah,
and he did some other films in there as well. But he was known as the Freddy Krueger guy, and you do see
yeah,
him cameo in a scene
yeah,
um, where as a janitor wearing the Freddy Krueger shirt and the
yeah.
hat, which I thought
Yep.
was a funny touch,
Did
you
he
know.
does he say in that, what did you say? Or what do you talk? He says something so funny when Fonzie, the principal, comes out into the hall to look for who's ever messing with him. And Wes Craven has such a funny line in the Freddy custodian
I don't remember.
outfit. Well, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Or what'd you say? Or don't talk to me. It's just
Well,
so funny how he does it.
it's kind of a reference to Elm Street where um, Heather Langenkamp goes around the corner and bumps into somebody, and it's this girl in pigtails that's got this the shirt on and whatnot, and she goes, "Where's your pass?" And Heather Langenkamp goes, screw your pass," and she runs off, and she hears Freddy's voice. When she turns around, there's the same girl, a little bit of blood on her, but the glove,
Oh,
you know. And I think this was kind of a reference to that because you got
yeah,
Wes
yeah,
Craven in the same outfit out in the
yeah,
hall, so
yeah, yeah.
you know.
I haven't seen, yeah, definitely with her saying, "Where's your pass?" It sounds completely parallel. I have not seen because I'm so afraid of horror films. Now I'm going to go see them, but I had not. I'm such a horror virgin, so I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I haven't seen all the Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes. So I have now I'm ready to see all of Wes's films, and I finally watched Halloween, and that's
Yeah, I
John Carp.
love the original
I
Halloween.
finally watched that, and I was so scared. But now, after being a part of getting to be invited into the horror community, I definitely feel, well, definitely excited, and that I can hit, now that I'm older, that I won't be as, I know I'll be scared, but not as badly scared.
You seen any of the Friday the 13th?
No, I mean, when I say I'm a horror virgin, I mean I am
Okay.
a horror
Here,
virgin.
here's what I'm going to do with Friday the 13th. I'm going to make a recommendation for you.
Okay, yes, please.
Watch part 6, Jason Lives. And I'm going to
Okay,
tell you, and I'm going to tell you
write this
why.
down. Okay, I'll remember. Part 6, Jason Lives.
Jason Lives. And I'm going to tell you why that one.
Okay.
You'll get the gist of everything, but that one there has got a lot of humor in it because Tom
Okay.
McLaughlin, the director, is making a lot of references to old monster movies.
Okay.
Because with Jason coming out of the grave, it's a reference to Frankenstein and this and that. But
Okay.
there's a lot of great humor in it. I mean, the paintball scene alone is to die for.
Well, I love the horror, the the humor infused, the horror infused, or the humor infused with the horrors. That's why I loved Scream so much. So after I see the
Yeah, the sixth.
Jason Lives one, do I then go back to the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one's been signed by CJ Graham, but this is the sixth one. It's
Okay.
not the scariest. Part 4 is the scariest.
Okay. No, I'm glad to know all of this.
But this one here, it's creepy, but it's a very fun ride. Strangely enough, there's no nudity in this movie. I didn't I never caught on to that until later in life for some weird reason. But I mean, when you get a movie that opens with your hero going to a graveyard with Horseshack from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Horseshack.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I love him. Okay, I have to see all of these. I'm kind of a lascivious person. I love nudity. Love it. male and female.
Oh, I got nothing against nudity, but this is probably the most PG-13 out of the films, but I think it's also the best one of the franchise.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's number
6.
Oh, we're still on number 6. Yes. So go number 6 to 1 to 4. Is that the order?
No, I'd say go number 6, then 1 through 5, and
okay, and then go. Okay. Yeah. I've always wanted to see The Last House on the Left. I've always wanted to see The Hills Have Eyes. Of course, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Now this one here, I think, is the scariest of the Friday films. This is part 4. And that's got Corey Feldman in it.
Wow, the casts are amazing. I need reading glasses. I'm so glad you're my teacher.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Jason Lives, if you're feverish of horror films, Jason Lives has got a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in it. So so I think you'll get a good laugh. I mean, unfortunately for you, Horseshack is the first one gone.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna tell you his line where he goes, my heart can't take it anymore is so on the mark when he says that.
I've never, that's hilarious. Does he look like himself? Like, will I recognize him?
Probably.
I've only ever seen him in Welcome Back, Kotter, and I always loved him in that. And so I'll be so excited to see him in this because I so identified, he just was that character of Horseshack. Mm-hmm. I never ventured out to see, where is I don't even know his name, the actor's name who played him.
John Palillo.
Say it, John Palillo.
Palillo, yeah, I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing like Andy Kaufman in Taxi. Like I just loved him in that, Horseshack and Welcome Back, Kotter, that I didn't go exploring for their other work that they did.
And again, the paintball scene in this is very, very funny. You get some paintballers that meet their end, but not without some good humor first. You get a gravedigger that gravekeeper that breaks the fourth wall in the movie, which is pretty funny.
Okay, I would. Yes, definitely. I feel badly for you that I haven't seen these films. I hope that does not make me a boring subject.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I when it comes to people that are feverish of horror films and they want to start getting into it, when it comes to Friday the 13th, I say check out Jason Lives.
Okay.
If you enjoy that, then watch 1 through up to where they end, wherever. But Jason Lives, to me, I think is the best one. Yeah, I think it's the best one. Part 4 is the scariest. It's got my favorite Jason. But Ted White was Jason in it, and I've had him on here a couple times, and he was just so intense. He was my favorite Jason.
So they've had. Why didn't they cast Ted White as all the Jasons, or did?
Because all they had to have is a hockey mask on, and some actors just didn't want to return. Kane Hodder, I think, is the one that's returned the most, but.
Okay.
But no, but I think, if you're all right with Jason Lives, then
Yeah.
you'll get the gist of it.
I had been feverish about drama, especially dramas, comedies, and I love psychological thrillers. I mean, those terrify me too. So I need to get my horror education going. So uh one funny thing, well, I hope you think it's funny. I love the movie Psycho and I love Anthony Perkins.
Love Psycho. I
And
had Hitchcock's granddaughter on here.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's her name?
Terry Karuba.
Terry
He's
Karuba.
got 3 granddaughters, and I managed to track her down, and I had her on here in 2016.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Um,
And I have Marley Renfro Peterson on here, who's the woman who doubled for Janet Leigh in the famous Psycho shower scene.
oh, in the shower scene.
Yeah.
Say the name of the double again.
Marley Renfro Peterson.
Marley Renfro Peterson. Is she related to Brad Renfro?
No, not that no, I don't think so.
Well, the only funny thing I was going to tell you, well, I hope you find it funny, maybe you won't, but I went to performing arts high school in Washington, D.C., and my acting teacher, they were entering me in a monologue competition for the theater, and my acting teacher stepped back from the video camera and he's like, you look like Anthony Perkins in Psycho. I took, at first I was like, I hadn't even seen Psycho, but now it makes me laugh really hard now that he was like, this is so freaky. But yeah, that's my little, that's my story.
I love Psycho. That was the first movie I seen at a midnight screening. Was Psycho. That was 1996.
1996. And was it packed?
Yeah, there was a lot of people there for it. Yeah.
Oh, he's so good in that. Janet Leigh, yeah, they're all so good in that.
Yep.
Did you see him?
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, what was you gonna say? Did I see what?
Well, I haven't seen his other work, Anthony Perkins. I would love to see him in Long Day's Journey and Tonight. Eugene O'Neill. I think he was in the film. Well, wait, did they do a film? Oh, now I feel stupid. He played one of the sons, but now I'm wondering.
I don't know. That's something I can't. I don't know.
He might have been in the play version, and but anyways, I'd love to see his other work. I really like him a lot.
But going back to Scream, what was your impressions of Wes Craven and working with him?
Well, he was the way he's amazing, very gentle, very unassuming, very kind, warm. He just welcomed me with open arms, because the way I even got invited into Scream was, at the time, I'd gone to Northwestern University, and a friend of mine from Northwestern at the time in 1995, 96 was Wes Craven's assistant. Her name's Julie Plec, Plec, and she went on after the first one to become an associate producer on the subsequent Scream films. And she called me randomly one day and said, how tall are you? And I said, I'm 5'7". And she said that Wes would be screen testing 5 actresses for the lead of Sydney, and that the average height of the actresses is 5'7", and she would want to see if I would be the female stand-in for the day, for the screen test day, so that if Wes had any lighting issues and camera angles that he wanted to do, he would use me to play Sydney. So I made $75 doing that. And it was in a big warehouse space. And the first half of the day, they didn't need me. So I just stood not right behind Wes Craven, but behind him, because he had a good view of his monitor. And then the two scenes, they made little makeshift sets. And the first scene he had the 5 actresses do at each of their audition times was the bedroom scene where Skeet crawls in through the window, and they have the little G-rated, you know, bedroom scene. And then the second scene was the scene where Nev Campbell's by herself and the killer calls her on the phone. So halfway, and Nev Campbell was one of the actresses that day. She's very sweet. I mean, she was probably the only one that I got to exchange words with. And then halfway through the day, and each actress, Wes Craven had each actress run through each scene twice. And then halfway through the day, he was going to be changing the camera angles and lighting for a couple of the last actresses. And he turned around to me like I was totally invisible the first half of the day, which was totally fine. Wes Craven turns right around to me and he said, "Do you know the lines to the 2 scenes?" And because I'd been watching them all day, I said, "Yes." And he gave me a little script and he said, "Well, I'm going to go check on the actress." He said, "Here, just review the script." And then he came back in and we did the bedroom scene first, and he had a male stand in for Skeet's part. And then me playing Sydney. We did that scene and then the phone call scene. And I mentioned this in another interview, but he beelined over to me and he shook my hand and he said, "That was excellent." And he went to go check on the actress who was like in hair and makeup. And as he left this big warehouse space, he said, "Have her read for one of the bathroom girls." And so the casting director, Lisa Beach, was there that day and she came running over and she's like, once we're finished casting all the lead parts, we'll start bringing in actors for the smaller roles. And so that was my first experience that day with Wes Craven, and just lovely with the 5 actresses who were there. He really went out of his way to make them feel comfortable, and he had no airs about him. And and I didn't feel he makes everyone around him feel so comfortable that I didn't ever feel nervous around him. And then initially when I was called to audition, I auditioned for the cheerleader part, which thankfully Leonora's way better than I would, way more appropriate and way better than I would have ever been as the cheerleader. But when I did my audition, sometimes when you audition for a film, it'll just be the casting director there. But on this day, Wes Craven was in the audition, the casting director, and one of Wes Craven's producing partners. And I wore a little baby doll t-shirt that said "Girls Rule" and a little black mini skirt. I didn't have a cheerleading outfit. And when I went to shake Wes's hand, like I'd already had met him several weeks prior at the screen test day, but he started bowing to me. And at first I was like, what have I done to be so deserving of Wes Craven seemingly being enchanted with little old me? And I was wearing my little t-shirt said "Girls Rule." And so I know that's, now looking back, I know that's why I would have been bowing, but he was just so generous and so nice. My audition was, he was, couldn't have been lovelier. I'm so sad that he's in heaven, or wherever people think he, like, not to place him in, I mean, I believe in heaven, but not wherever he is.
I definitely believe in heaven.
Okay, yeah, I didn't want to sit, because everyone has their own belief system, but I just think I was so sad when I heard that he had passed away. And because that age to me, I think he was 70 or 71, is still so young to me. And he was just a vibrant person. So I did terribly as the cheerleader, but then they called and they offered me the girl in the bathroom part. And when we were on the set that day, Wes was super nice as they were getting the bathroom. I mean, the set was already built, the high school bathroom. Then what made me, I love tough love. Like, I don't like directors to be gentle with me or beat around the bush. So when they were doing our close-ups, Leonora and mine's close-ups, they had put they had taken the mirror, each mirror away. And for my close-ups, he put the camera where the mirror was. And he comes into the bath. He was on the outside of the bathroom, and he comes into the bathroom and he goes, "Nancy Ann, you look grotesque." And he said, "You look like you're playing to a Broadway theater of 1,000 people." And I knew exactly what he meant. And he just kept saying, "Shave it, shave it, shave it." But just his manner was so gentle and loving that even that, and I appreciate him being so direct with me. But yeah, he just was lovely at that. And then at the wrap party was lovely. I don't smoke cigarette. I was so wasted at the wrap party. Somehow I had a pack of cigarettes and I was smoking, and we were all jammed into this little hotel room. Oh Lord. Okay, can you hear the phone ringing?
That's
Oh,
okay.
never
Don't
mind.
worry
Okay.
about it.
So wasted. I'm smoking cigarettes and I'm not a smoker. And Wes was like, "Can I have one?" And he just was very, I wish people, he just was lovely, just lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah. And very talented, obviously, because I think I just think Kevin Williamson turned out a great script. And then the way Wes Craven directed the shit out of that film. So the both of them made Scream what it was to me.
And I
Or what it
definitely,
is.
and well, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but what a clever way to go.
Oh, with
Yeah.
the end of Scream, not the clever way for Wes Craven to go
Well,
leave
the
the
clever way for the movie, and you had a great cast, Skeet
and
Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, and who was very great in it, and
yeah,
Courtney Cox looked really
yeah,
striking. And I
yeah,
love Nev Campbell's little nose freckles.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's totally, yeah, adorable, adorable. I love that you noticed that. Yeah, adorable. They were
Yeah,
all so good. Drew Barrymore,
Drew
Jamie
Barrymore.
Kennedy, all David Arquette, Rose McGowan. I mean, they couldn't have found, I felt, a better group of actors to play those main characters.
Have you
Um,
seen any of the sequels?
well, the short answer is no. I have not, because I didn't want to. Uh, I did see the second one in the movie theater, but that was so long ago. And then I hadn't seen the subsequent ones. I'm definitely going to see the fifth one January. I know it comes out January 15th, and I am very excited for that. And I would have been excited for the other ones, but that was all during my marriage and moving from LA to New York. Um, so yeah, what of the subsequent sequels, which was your favorite, 2, 3, or 4? I'm assuming the first one was your favorite.
Yeah,
And then,
I'd say go from watch them in order. I say,
okay,
Scream 2, I think, would be the second best one. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Um,
but they didn't have the bathroom girls in it.
I know so now that I hate calling fans, like I want to just call them my friends, but um, all the fans are saying, since the bathroom girls are still alive, we want them to either be the killers or the funniest little comment I heard recently was from a guy who I became friends with on Facebook through this community. He said he wanted the girl in the bath, because someone asked me, what do you think the girl in the bathroom is doing now? And I gave an answer. And then this other guy, he said, she's still living in Woodsboro, the girl in the bathroom, and she has her own bakery, and the promo code to get a discount at the bakery is pathetic. And I thought that was so clever, since that's my last line. So yeah, a lot. the interest in the bathroom. I'm glad there's so much interest in the bathroom girls. Uh, People want to know if I still have my costume. They cut my hair into that very unflattering hairstyle. Like, I was so embarrassed. That's what I looked like, but but I am really surprised at all the, I guess, just support and attention and interest in both the cheerleader and the girl.
Yeah. Well, we're closing in on time, but I do have one more question though. The conventions, what is the most interesting thing you've ever been asked to sign?
Well, you're gonna be you're gonna be so bummed with me. So I have not. I haven't been. I'm a convention virgin. I haven't been.
Oh, you haven't done them yet.
Haven't
Okay.
I haven't done them.
I thought that, okay, so you were approached about it.
I was approached to do them by Billy Stamper, who's a booking manager, and I know he's trying to get me and Leonora into the conventions, but we haven't been signed up for any as of yet. So,
If you get the
so I
chance,
hope.
do them because they're a blast.
Oh yeah, I
Oh
told
yeah.
Billy. Yeah, I told him that I was all in whenever they happen. Um, I was trying, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely go to any conventions that that want me. So for sure.
Okay. Well, you know what? It was wonderful having you come on here for the 25th anniversary of Scream, and loved hearing your stories, and I hope that things could be patched up between you and Lenora, and you know, and that be wonderful to have both of you at a con. I think people would love that, you know.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
I guarantee you people would love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Because one, yeah, I think one go to have us both there, I think would be really fun. And so I hope we can. I'm really sorry to Leonora, and I hope we can work it out for sure. Because yeah, I really do think it would be fun for the fans, and to have both bathroom girls, I think would be really fun.
Okay. Before I let you go, is there any web pages or any place where people can connect with you if they want to get hold of you?
Okay, I'm trying to build my profile. I am on Facebook,
Hmm.
just as Nancy Ann Ritter, and then I did just open up an Instagram account that's just at Nancy Ann Ritter. And is that what you mean?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I do want to set up a little website just for my name, because my, as you see in IMDb, my film credits are very limited. I have a wonderful theater resume, um, where I've done a lot of professional theater, and that I'm really proud of. But because of the very bad marriage, everything kind of stopped film wise for me, like in 2007. Um, but yeah, so Instagram, the fans have reached out to me a lot on Facebook, which has been fun. And now they're starting to reach out on Instagram. Um, so does that help? Does that
Yep.
answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I love talking to them. I try to, and they all have such fun questions. And um, since I'm not a big star, I have a lot of time. I really love meeting them, and I love their interests. So I try to answer as many, I try to answer everyone, because I think it's so cool, to, to be a part of the horror world. So I'm so excited to meet you. You gave me can I sometime call you once I see the sixth Jason Lives, once I see the sixth one, and then go through them all?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Go right ahead. You're more than welcome.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited. Thank you. It was an honor to get to talk to you, and I wish you a happy new year.
Absolutely. We are celebrating the 25th anniversary of Scream on here today. Before I let you go, Nancy, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Okay. Well, this is Greg Gilbert,
Mhm.
and it's Python's Paradise, right?
That's right. Yep.
And it's and I recommend to everybody to tune into Python's Paradise to watch Greg Gilbert. And I recommend actors and writers and all forms of entertainers to come on the show with Greg, because he's amazing and lovely and warm and a pleasure, and it'll change your life. He will change your life. Was
Well,
that good?
yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Well, you know what? I look forward to getting this out to you.
Okay.
God bless you. Happy New Year. I know you've done Tommy Kovac's podcast, and he's a very entertaining guy. And I know you got Scotty McCoy coming up, and I highly recommend him.
Yeah.
So, yep.
I did one last night for Morris Shortall in Ireland, Cheap Heat Productions. His was a podcast video interview.
Mhm.
The one tomorrow with Leonora Still Toking, and then Scotty McCoy, and then another one with Tom Smith. I have to look at all the different titles, but
I
yeah.
know a few of them, I know
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
of them. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
All of us are very, very different.
Well, it makes it fun.
Yep.
And I'm learning as I go. I get worried that I'm Nancy Ann Rambler instead of Nancy Ann Ritter. So I'm learning. So I hope I get better at these as I go forward.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here today. Happy New Year to you. May 2022 be a brighter year for all of us, and get rid of this whole pandemic.
Yeah. And I wish Skittles a happy new year as well.
Skittles over there curled up asleep.
Oh, asleep.
He's asleep.
Well, I'll miss, this was so nice. I'll miss you, and I wish you all the best for the rest of 2021 and then a great 2022.
Thank you so much.
You tell me how, because I've never been on a laptop, how do I end it so that I'm not.
You just hit the stop button and then
Okay.
press the end button.
Yeah. Okay. Oh Lord, the stuff I can use. Oh God, this is embarrassing. So do I do it now?
Yep, do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. You take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.